Hello everyone, I welcome you all for this one more session where we are trying to derive the strain displacement matrix and as well as the Jacobian matrix for this quadrilateral element. In the previous session, we have studied about how to derive the shape function for the strain displacement matrix and the Jacobian matrix for CST element. So today we will be seeing on the same background how to derive the strain displacement matrix and Jacobian matrix for quadrilateral triangle. So this is also the element which will be used for two-dimensional analysis, where if you have a regular shape component, we can directly use this quadrilateral element for meshing. But when you have a curvature or a sharp edges, there this particular shape will not fit. So then we have to use the combination of a triangular element as well as the rectangular element. So for this, if I use for this type of an element, what should be the strain displacement matrix? Based on that strain displacement matrix, what should be the stiffness matrix, and later what will be the displacement of this particular nodes. So if you see this particular element, this is made up of 4 nodes. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, each has 2 degrees of freedom, which will be constituting the 8 nodal displacements. With respect to 8 nodal displacements, I have to find out the stresses. I have already told you two-dimensional elements are used for plane stress and plane strain conditions, where the thickness of that particular component will be neglected and we assume the body is being subjected to biaxial loading. So because of this biaxial loading, two types of stresses are induced, and we are only interested in finding out the displacement only in two directions. So when I consider for two-dimensional analysis, as we all know that we found out from the previous uh, derivation, epsilon x is basically given as dou u by dou x. Okay, epsilon y is given as dou v by dou y, and gamma xy is basically given as dou u by dou y plus dou v by dou x. Okay, so these are the three different types of strains which are produced during the loading conditions. So these two, epsilon x, epsilon y, are called as a linear strain. Okay, and gamma xy is called as a shear strain. So we need to find out the values of these individuals, and then we can find out the strain displacement matrix. So as we have discussed for a CST element, the displacement u, okay, has a relationship. If I see what is the displacement of u is a field variable, is a function of zeta as well as neta. So whenever the displacement is happening here, so it is a function of zeta and neta, which we have seen from the previous derivation. So once again the same procedure will be applied. So if I take a dou u by dou zeta, it is basically given as dou u by dou x into dou x by dou zeta plus dou u by dou y into dou y by dou zeta. So this is the combination, because u is a function of x as well as y, which means that the neta and zeta values. So similarly, if I want to find out dou u by dou neta, so I will be writing it as dou u by dou x and dou x by dou neta. So similarly, plus dou u by dou y into dou y by dou neta. So if I convert them in the matrix form, so I can easily write it as dou u by dou zeta into dou u by dou neta can be written as, so I will be taking dou u by dou x and dou u by dou y. So the matrix which remains here is, it is dou x by dou zeta, okay, and dou y by dou zeta, okay, and dou x by dou neta and dou y by dou neta. So which is multiplied with respect to dou u by dou x and dou u by dou y. Okay, so this is how which we have done previously in the CST element derivation. So this particular thing is called as the Jacobian matrix. Jacobian matrix, which gives a relationship between the natural coordinate system as well as the global coordinate system. So if because I'm interested in this parameter dou u by dou x and dou u by dou y, so I'll keep it on one side. So dou u by so I'll write it here, dou u by dou zeta, dou u by dou neta is equal to Jacobian matrix dou u by dou x and dou u by dou y. Okay, so this is the equation. If I want this dou u by dou x, so what I'll do is I'll take the inverse of these j, so it will become j inverse dou u by dou zeta and dou u by dou net. So now I have to find out the value of j inverse. Okay, so already you know that what is the value, what is the formula for inverse? It is adjoint upon determinant. Okay, so if you first before getting the value of j inverse, you have to first find out the value of j. So what is the value of j? So if you see the matrix, it is dou x by dou zeta, dou y by dou zeta, dou x by dou neta and dou y by dou neta. So we need to use a isoparametric equation where we'll be finding out the we'll be writing the x in terms of shape functions of the individual x1, x2, x3 values. So if I want to write it here, so if I take an isoparametric equation, so isoparametric equation, x at any point here, x can be represented as n1 x1 plus n2 x2 plus n3 x3 plus n4 x4. Okay, it can be written as n1 x1, n2 x2, n3 x3 and n4 x4. So these n1, n2, n3, n4 are the shape functions for a 4-noded quadrilateral element. So you have to recall the shape function derivation which you have done for 4-noded quadrilateral element. In this we have done for 4-noded, 8-noded as well as 9-noded. So we will be recalling the shape function for that. So I will be directly writing the shape function here. So n1 will be 1 by 4. So 1 minus zeta, 1 minus neta into x1. So I hope it is right, plus 1 by 4. N2 I will be writing, it is 1 minus zeta and 1 plus eta. Is it right? So I made a mistake here. So this is 1 comma minus 1. Y is minus 1. So this will be 1 minus zeta and 1 plus eta. Okay. So plus I will write n3 here, 1 by 4. It will be 1 plus zeta into 1 plus eta into x, here x2 has to come, here x3 will be there. So plus n4 I will write, it is 1 by 4, 1 minus zeta into 1 plus eta into x raised to x into 4, that is x4. Okay, so this is the expansion of that. So if you see the J matrix, here, so J is first dou x by dou zeta. So you have to differentiate this equation with respect to zeta and try to find out the values. So if I do that, I'll keep this as it is. Okay, so if I do that, I have to do dou x by dou zeta. So what will be dou x by dou zeta? So only the zeta parameter will be taken here. So it will be minus 1 by 4. Okay, minus 1 by 4, 1 minus eta into x1. Okay, next once again, so once again I made a mistake here, this is plus, this is minus the shape function value. So plus 1 by 4, 1 minus zeta into x2 plus, so we have done two differentiation here. We have to do for the n3 differentiation. That is 1 plus zeta, 1 plus neta is there. You have to do dou x by dou zeta. When you do that, it will be 1 by 4, 1 plus neta. So here if you do the differentiation, it will be minus 1 by 4, 1 plus neta into, here it is x3, here it is x4. So this is the dou x by dou zeta. So what I'll do is I'll just, it is a bigger equation. What I'll do is I'll equal to it as j11. So j11 here. Okay. So that is first row, first column. So if you do the same thing for dou x by dou neta, so because the next is dou x by dou neta here. So if you do that, so you will be getting minus 1 by 4, 1 minus zeta. Okay. Next, here what you will be getting, minus 1 by 4, 1 plus zeta. Here x1 is there, here x2 is there. So next you will be getting 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4, 1 plus zeta into x3. Next, if you do here, you will be getting plus 1 by 4, 1 minus zeta into x4. So this is dou x by dou zeta, dou eta. So this one, so this I'll equal to as j21, because these are lengthy equations. So just designate as j11 and j21. So similarly, you have to do the equations for dou y by dou zeta and dou y by dou neta. So I'll rub this figure, so it will consume a lot of thing here. So if you do that, once again we'll be writing that isoparametric equation, isoparametric equation, isoparametric equation in terms of y. So y is equal to n1 y1 plus n2 y2 plus n3 y3 plus n4 y4. Okay, y4. So if I do once again, y will be equal to 1 by 4, 1 minus zeta, 1 minus eta y1 plus 1 by 4, 1 plus zeta, 1 minus eta is y2 plus 1 by 4, 1 plus zeta and 1 plus eta into y3 plus 1 by 4, 1 minus zeta, 1 plus neta into y4. So this is the expansion of the shape function. So next what we will do is we will try to find out the values of dou y by dou zeta. So if I do the value for dou y by dou zeta, so what will end up, the same thing here. So this will be 1 by 4, this will be minus 1 by 4, 1 minus neta into y1 plus 1 by 4, 1 minus neta into y2 plus 1 by 4 is 1 plus eta into y3 plus 1 by 4, it will be minus here, minus 1 by 4, 1 plus eta into y4. So this is dou y by dou zeta which we have found out there. So this will be equal to j12, first row, second column. So next if I do it, I will be getting dou y by dou neta. So same thing you have to do it here. So it is minus 1 by 4, 1 minus zeta into y1 plus it will be minus 1 by 4, 1 plus zeta into y2 plus 1 by 4, 1 plus zeta into y3 plus 1 by 4, 1 minus zeta into y4. Okay, so these are the four values of Jacobian matrix which we have found out. So this I'll write it as J22. J22. So instead of combining everything, it will be it becomes a bit lengthier equation. So we have taken the column and row wise nomenclature. So what happens here is, so J will be, so if you see here, J has the values J11, J12, J21, J22. So these are the values which we have already derived it. Okay, so now what I require is I require the value of J inverse. Okay, when I want to find out the value of J inverse is nothing but adjoint J upon determinant J. Adjoint J upon determinant J. So in order to find out the value of adjoint, you have to first find out the value of cofactor. Okay, so first we will find out the value of cofactor here. So cofactor of J. So what will be the cofactor of J? So it will be J11 minus J21 minus J12 into J22. So this is the cofactor for J. I hope it is correct. Yeah, this is right. Okay, so next you have to find out the adjoint. So adjoint will be the same value, but the sign changes or the interchangeable of elements will change. Adjoint of J will be, so it will be J11 minus J12 minus J21 in and J22. So this is the value of the adjoint. Sorry, so this will be J22. Okay, so I made a mistake here. It becomes J22 and J11. So this becomes J22, J11, J12 and J21. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So this is about the adjoint. So next you have to find out the as simple it is J inverse you have to find out. So J inverse is nothing but 1 upon determinant J into that is adjoint upon determinant. So we will be writing this. So J22 minus J12 minus J21 into J1. Okay, so this is the J inverse value. So if you see here whatever the equations which we have derived, so it was dou u by dou x and dou u by dou y is J inverse of that. So we will be writing this equation. So basically it was written as dou u by dou x and dou u by dou y was given as J inverse of dou u by dou zeta and dou u by dou neta. So this was the equation which is been given. If I substitute this, so what I'll get, dou u by dou x and dou u by dou y is equal to 1 upon determinant J, and this is the adjoint J22, okay, minus J12 minus J21 into J11. So this is the equation into dou u by dou zeta and dou u by dou neta. So similarly, if I want to write it for dou v, okay, so I'll write it in this particular fashion. Similarly, so if I want to write it as dou v by dou x and dou v by dou y, so what I can write it here is same value will come, determinant J into J22 minus J12 minus J21 into J11. The value changes here as dou v by dou zeta and dou v by dou neta. Okay, dou v by dou neta. So now we have to write the equations for the strains. Okay, so from the previous in the starting only we have seen what is epsilon x. So epsilon x is nothing but dou u by dou x, epsilon y is nothing but dou v by dou y, gamma xy is nothing but dou u by dou y plus dou v by dou x. So if I see here, I have got dou u by dou x, dou v by dou y, dou u by dou y and dou v by dou x. So if I combine them, so see here, so what I can write it is I can make a matrix here okay, which constitutes, what are the values which you have, the multiplications? You have dou u by dou zeta, dou u by dou neta, dou v by dou zeta, and dou v by dou neta. So these are the equations. So just if you multiply the terms here, first I want dou u by dou x. So this 1 by determinant j. So if I want to find out these values, okay, these values, so it will be equal to 1 upon determinant j will be there. I'll multiply this matrix with respect to the other one. So what you will end up here, you will be end up in j22. So dou u by dou zeta is j22, okay. Dou u by dou neta is what, minus minus j12, okay. So you don't have other terms like dou v by dou zeta and dou v by dou neta, you will be getting it as 0 and 0. So next comes terms as you found out dou v by dou x now, dou u by dou x, next you have to find out dou v by dou y. So if you see dou v by dou y, it is these terms minus j21, okay, but it is in the term of dou v by dou zeta and dou v by dou neta. So here these two terms will be 0, you will be getting here minus j21 and minus j11 here, okay. So next you have to write it for dou u by dou y and dou v by dou x. So you have to write it for dou u by dou y and dou v by dou x. So dou u by dou y is relating to these terms, okay. So it will be minus j21 j11, okay. Dou v by dou x will be resulting in these two equations, that is j22 and j12, that is minus, okay. So this whatever is there, epsilon, this is called as an epsilon value, this is called as, I'll call it as a matrix, okay. So this I'll have to call it as G matrix. See, this is just for the nomenclature. So when I have found out the A matrix now, but I don't know the values of these G matrix, because whenever I am writing the strain displacement matrix, the strain displacement matrix will be written in terms of nodal displacements. So I don't know the values of these because it is dou u by dou zeta, dou u by dou neta. I have to convert them in the matrix form, okay, or in the nodal displacement form. For that, once again we will be trying to find out the value of G here, okay. So once again we will be trying to solve that. So it is simple derivation here, where once again we will be writing the isoparametric equation. So if you see that particular figure, okay, so if you see that particular figure here, it was somewhat like this, okay. This is first node, this is second node, this is third node, this is fourth node. You got Q1, Q2 here, Q3, Q4 in this particular direction, Q5, Q6, and then you are given as Q7 and Q8, okay. So these were the equations. So I have to write the nodal displacements u in terms of the field variable u in terms of the nodal displacements. So what are the u parameters? U parameters are those nodal displacements which goes along the x axis, that is 1, 3, 5 and 7. So what I will do is I will write it as n1 q1 plus n2 q3 plus n3 q5 plus n4 q7. So these are the equation. So once again what you have to do is you have to induce the, or you have to bring the shape function parameters here. So what are the shape function parameters? N1 will be 1 by 4, 1 minus zeta, 1 minus neta into q1. N2 will be plus 1 by 4, 1 plus zeta, 1 minus zeta into q3 plus 1 by 4, 1 plus zeta 1 plus neta into q phi plus 1 by 4 1 minus zeta and 1 plus eta into q7. So these are the shape function values with respect to the nodal displacements which you have already derived it. Okay, so now you have to see these parameters. What are these parameters? You have to integrate first with respect to zeta as well as you have to integrate first with respect to neta. Sorry, differentiation. So you have to differentiate it with respect to zeta and neta. So if you do it dou u by dou zeta here, so what will end up here? So it becomes 1 by 4, okay, minus 1 minus zeta into q1 neta plus plus 1 by 4 1 minus eta into q3 plus 1 by 4 1 plus eta into q5 minus 1 by 4 1 plus neta into q7. So this is the equation for dou u by dou zeta. Okay, so this is the equation. Here next you have to find out the value of dou u by dou neta. So dou u by dou neta, if you do it, so what you will get here? So it will be minus 1 by 4 1 minus zeta into q1 plus not get plus, you will be getting minus 1 by 4 1 plus zeta into q3, okay, so plus 1 by 4 1 plus zeta into q5 plus 1 by 4 1 minus zeta into q7. So this is the dou u by dou neta. So similarly you have to do it for the dou v by dou zeta and dou v by dou neta. So how you will do it? Here I will just rub it out. So you have to write first for v now. Okay. So n1. So what will be the nodal displacements here? So it is along the y direction q2, q4, q6 and q8. So n1 q2 plus n2 q4 plus n3 q6 plus n4 q8. Okay, so these are the nodal displacements and the shape functions here. So similarly you have to do it the same thing. It will be 1 by 4. It will be 1 by 4 1 minus zeta 1 minus neta into q2 plus 1 by 4 1 plus zeta 1 minus eta into q4 plus 1 by 4 1 plus zeta 1 plus eta into q6 plus 1 by 4 1 minus zeta and 1 plus eta into q8. So what are the values you require? You have to differentiate it both in terms of zeta and eta. So it will be dou u by dou zeta. So when you do that, what you will end up? Minus 1 by 4. So it is dou v minus 1 by 4 1 minus zeta eta into q2 plus 1 by 4 1 minus eta into q4 plus 1 by 4 1 plus eta into q6 minus 1 by 4 1 plus eta into q8. So this is for dou v by dou zeta. So next is dou v by dou eta. So when you do for dou v by dou eta, so what you will end up? You will end up in minus 1 by 4 1 minus zeta into q2. So next is minus 1 by 4 1 plus zeta into q4. Next this one is plus 1 by 4 1 plus zeta into q6 and final one is this. It will be plus 1 by 4 1 minus zeta into q8. So these are the values you have to consider. Now you have to multiply these values with the A matrix. Okay, with the A matrix you got it. So then you will be getting the values of that. So before doing that, so what we'll do is we'll try to write the equivalent matrix for this, because I want to segregate the values of q1, q2, q3, q4. Okay, so until it is having the 8 values, so you'll be getting 8 columns. Okay, you'll be having 8 columns. So based on that 8 columns, what are the values of q1, q2, q3, you have to write it. So if you write those equations, you'll be directly getting here. So I'll be directly writing that, because it is just the substitution values. So if you write it here, that will be the G matrix. So G here, and you have the values like Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, Q5, Q6, Q7, Q8. So these are the 6 nodal displacements. Okay, 8 nodal displacements are there. For this, what are the coefficients? You have to just write it here. What are the coefficients? So if you are done dou u by dou zeta here, so dou u by dou zeta, what are the coefficients? You have to write it. So what I'll do is I'll take 1 by 4 as a common term. So if I take 1 by 4 as a common term, so I'll be getting the matrix as this. See, if you just see here, q1 coefficient is there, minus into minus 1 by eta. Okay, next q2 is not there, it will become 0 here. Next, if you write q3, it is 1 minus zeta eta. Okay, next if you see q4 is not there, so this becomes 0. q5, if you want to write, it becomes 1 plus eta. Then if you write q6, it is 0. q7, it is minus 1 by eta. Okay, so next q8 is 0. So like that you have filled the q1 parameters. Okay, that is dou u by dou zeta you have written. So similarly now you have to write dou u by dou eta. So when you write it, you will be getting here minus 1 minus zeta. The same thing here, if you see here, then it is 0. Then you will be getting minus 1 plus eta. This is 0. You will be getting 1 plus eta. This is 0. You will be getting 1 minus eta. This will be 0. So similarly you have to write it for dou v by dou zeta and dou v by dou eta. So when you do it, you will be getting all the q2, q4, q6, q8 terms. So q1 it will be 0. This will be minus into minus 1 by eta. This is 0. This is 1 minus eta. This is 0. This is 1 plus eta. This is 0. This is minus 1 plus eta. So similarly, finally, if you write this, so this is 0, this is minus 1 minus zeta, 0, this will be minus 1 plus zeta, and this is 0, this will be 1 plus zeta, okay, and this will be 0, and this will be 1 minus zeta. So this is how we got the values of G. So I can write now G is equal to H into Q. So where Q is this nodal displacement, H is the parameter of this. So then if I see E there, E had got it as A into G, okay, and A into G, where G is given as A into H into Q. So this is also a matrix and this is also a matrix. So from our definition we know that epsilon is equal to B into Q. So if you compare them, so you will be getting B is equal to A into H. So this is the strain displacement matrix for a quadrilateral element. So this is a bit lengthy derivation, but what you have to do is first you have to write the strain equations. From there we will be using that chain rule of partial differentiation by using dou u by dou zeta and dou u by dou eta, and then we will be finding out the values of dou u by dou x, okay, dou v by dou y, and the strain parameters. It is simple, but it takes a lot of time for the calculation purpose. So this is an important derivation. So please do practice, and if you have any doubts, you can just contact. Thank you.